Hey everyone, how's it going? Aaron Rift here from NoDQ.com. We are here to discuss the 2016 edition of WWE Backlash, the return of Backlash, a SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view. I am being joined by Mike Nagel, regular contributor to NoDQ.com. He was falling asleep during parts of the pay-per-view. How are you doing today, Mike?
Kayfabe.
Exactly. And as you can see, we are also being joined by Greg Cherry, who regularly does the Coast to Coast series with Jeff Meacham and also the Quick Picks series for pay-per-view events. This is our first time doing a video together in person. How you doing, Greg?
Not too bad.
Good to have you on today. We are actually recording this in Oil City, Pennsylvania. So first ever No DQ pay-per-view review video being recorded in the state of Pennsylvania. History being made here. So, let's talk about this pay-per-view. Oh, I forgot. On the phone right now, we have good old JM Jeff Meacham from Santa Clarita, California. How you doing, Jeff?
How soon they forget the host of Talk Wrestling after the bell. I see how it is, Rick. Thanks.
Yeah, I forgot because you're actually there on the phone talking to us, and I almost forgot you were here. But how can we forget good old JM? Jeff missed last week, last month, I should say. He's actually missed Talk Wrestling the past few weeks, so we had to get Jeff on today to give his thoughts on the show.
Yeah, how are those tire marks, Jeff? Jeez.
Oh.
Damn.
All right, so let's talk about this show, which was a very interesting pay-per-view. It did not really feel like a major pay-per-view. It felt like what it was, which was a B pay-per-view from a single brand with a fairly weak roster. Let's talk about the kickoff match, which was Apollo Crews versus Baron Corbin. Totally thrown together, no build whatsoever. Any thoughts? First, I'll start with you, Mike. Any thoughts on that match?
I was kind of surprised Baron Corbin got the clean win.
Well, he did get the clean win, and somebody had to win, so why not it be the guy that has maybe a little bit more momentum? I mean, what do you think, Greg? Do you think that of the two of them, it was better for Corbin to pick up the win here?
I do. I actually happen to like Baron Corbin. The problem with Apollo Crews is that he doesn't have the momentum because he really doesn't have a direction. I mean, Corbin doesn't really either, but him continually winning, I guess, is enough of a direction for him, even if it's just on the pre-show.
Right. What do you think, Jeff? Do you think that it was right for Corbin to win here? And what should be done with Apollo Crews at this point?
I think it's been right for Corbin to win since he won the Battle Royal at WrestleMania. He was supposed to be the next guy, and he's been very much shoved to the side in favor of guys like Dolph Ziggler, who granted deserves recognition. But Corbin has been, pushed down, and he needed this win more than Apollo did. I'm not big on Apollo Crews. I've never really liked his character in NXT or WWE. So where they go with him is really up to the WWE and where they think they want to go with this guy. I think he has potential, but the character they have with him right now is definitely lackluster.
I totally agree. I'm thinking maybe a heel turn. Something needs to be done with Crews because he's really going nowhere. At least, like you said, Corbin did get that WrestleMania win, and he has some potential as a heel if he's given a good push. So maybe this will be the beginning of a reboot for Baron Corbin, and hopefully WWE will figure out something for Crews. So let's move on here to the main pay-per-view. Kicked off with a promo, Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan. Again, this is what happens when you have a thin roster. Only 6 matches were announced for the main show. You have Shane and Daniel coming out there and basically just recapping everything we're about to see, everything we knew we were going to see. Basically time filler. And then we had the first match, which was the 6-pack women's challenge for the brand new SmackDown Women's Championship. A very long time before anybody got eliminated. I thought that this was a very good match. For the most part, it was well thought out, well planned. Surprisingly, Nikki was not at the very end. I figured she would either be next to last or be the winner. And as it turns out, the betting odds changed at the last minute. Nikki was originally the betting odds favorite, and it changed to Becky. Now, I think Becky winning was definitely the right decision. I think that Becky has the most momentum. I think she was the sentimental favorite from most of the fans. And I was happy with the finish. I was happy with the match. I thought it was very well done. Thoughts first, you, Mike?
I was really happy Becky Lynch won.
By the way, Mike lost his voice at UFC 203, so...
Excuse me.
He's working with us here, so try not to give us dislikes just because of Mike's voice. I would appreciate it.
Please don't. I was really happy Becky finally got her moment as WWE SmackDown Women's Champion. The action in the match, in my opinion, was really good. I really liked that match a lot, and I thought it was one of the best women's matches I've seen in a while. I thought it was a great way to kick off the show, to be honest. I like the fact that the eliminations didn't take place so quick, so it looked like everybody had a shot, and then all of a sudden, everybody starts falling. So major props to Becky Lynch, and you could tell she was really emotional and happy that they put faith in her to carry the women's division on SmackDown, and that's cool, and I'm really happy for her.
And you, Greg?
I think the only disappointment I have in the match was that Alexa Bliss was eliminated first. I don't think they give Alexa Bliss enough credit.
But they did give all the women a lot of time.
They did give them a lot of time. I'm just disappointed that she was going first.
Yeah, I mean, somebody had to be eliminated first.
I figured Alexa and Becky would be there at the end.
And she had like a Suicide Squad look to her.
She was Harley Quinn
tonight. Flopped like the movie.
Yeah, a lot of people like that. I saw on Twitter. What about you, Jeff? Any thoughts? Anything to add on this?
I agree with Mike 100%. I think that match had the potential to set the tone for the whole night being first. And based on what we saw in that match, it could have been a good night overall. It ended up not being a good night overall. But that women's match, those 6 girls are 6 awesome athletes. They all had their own moment in the match. They all had enough time to get their stuff done. And it was awesome. I love Becky's moment winning the championship. And now, the whole circle of life thing is complete. All 4 NXT horsewomen have now held gold at WWE in one form or another.
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
The one other thing I wanted to mention about the match that I thought was really cool, Naomi actually got herself way more cool points tonight.
Yeah, she did some cool stuff in that match.
She did the Daniel Bryan cattle mutilation. She did that springboard plancha off the ropes, which I don't think I've ever seen a diva do, and or a woman, excuse me. And I thought she earned herself some major points tonight with the company, with the fans, and she's not just someone who comes out to glow in the dark Halloween paint.
Yeah, like she's at a rave, like she's at EDC or something. All right, so let's talk about the tag team titles. We had the Usos versus the Hype Brothers. Usos, of course, got the win. Everyone expected that. And then that led to Heath Slater and Rhino against the Usos for the tag team titles, which ended when Rhino hit the gore, and the referee did not see this. Rhino was not the legal man. Heath Slater got the pin, and that led to Slater and Rhino becoming the new tag team champions. They cut a post-match promo, which I thought was awesome. Heath Slater can finally afford that double wide, baby. So, what did you guys think about this? Mike, I'll start with you.
You're a stupid idiot sometimes. I like the Usos' new look. They came out to a new look. They don't do the face entrance anymore with the
warg, the
Samoan
tribal
chanting. Yeah. But I thought they looked cool coming out all in black, like mercenaries and shit. I thought it was cool. I really liked the match they had with the Hype Bros. That Mojo Rawley is like something else that I've never seen. That dude is like 260 or 270 pounds, and he was amped up and like full of energy the whole match. And that dude, I don't know, he didn't get blown up or anything. That was crazy. Someone that size able to go like that. That was cool. Basic Zack Ryder spots. Zack Ryder took the pinfall, and I thought it was good for what it was. It was just a tag match.
All right, Greg.
I agree with Mike. The Usos' new look is cool. I like their gimmick. It looks like that kick to the leg is going to be part of the arsenal.
Yeah.
And also, I was mentioning this earlier in the Tequila Sunrise, which I'm sure they're not going to call it that in WWE, but the fact that they're using that again is a submission that nobody's really used in a long time since Conan. Really.
Yeah.
So it's awesome to see that again, and good for Slater and Rhino becoming the tag champs.
What about you, Jeff? You happy about Heath Slater being the man now?
I happy. I'm curious how Rhino's constituents are going to feel about him cheating to win the tag title, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It was great. It was a good tournament. I like that they were able to work around Chad Gable's injury,
Yeah.
even if it's a religion or not. And I like the Usos' new look, like you guys mentioned. The Usos look good, coming out all in black and being like Nagel said, mercenary type guys. It was awesome. The matches were both really good. I'm kind of not a huge fan of the whole Heath Slater being a trailer gimmick. I think it's kind of hokey. But
You shut your damn mouth.
Huh?
You shut your damn mouth. That is the greatest gimmick of all time.
Oh, boy.
According to some. But, I mean, it's very entertaining. I mean, that you can say that much. It's a very entertaining gimmick. And it felt very organic. Heath Slater having that celebration, you know. It felt very organic and not something that was forced or scripted by the writers. Just Heath Slater just pouring his heart out and being happy he's getting a push. I mean, most likely how he feels in real life, you know, happy that he's getting this opportunity to shine and be in the spotlight. So I thought it was a great moment. We got that feel-good moment we were looking for with Slater, for sure. All right. So, let's talk about the IC title match, The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler. Backstage, we had Miz taunting Daniel Bryan, and during the match, Miz was doing some of Bryan's moves to mock Bryan. At the end, we had Maurice spraying something into Ziggler's eyes, some kind of perfume or something, and Miz retained the title with the skull-crushing finale. I'd like to see something happen with Ziggler now. I mean, he's kind of in a similar spot. I mean, he's at a higher level, but I feel like he's sort of in the same spot as Apollo Crews, where he's a guy that's really going nowhere, and maybe like a heel turn would benefit him. I think it was the right decision to keep the title on Miz. I mean, Miz has been doing very well as the champion, and he's got some momentum coming off of the Bryan thing. I'm just wondering what's going on with Bryan. I mean, you would think if that was the end of it, that Talking Smack thing was the one segment, why are they continuing to tease something between Bryan and Miz? I find that really interesting. What do you think, Mike?
I don't know. I think they play off each other very well, you know, ever since the NXT days. I think they're good foils for each other. I mean, it may not be anything more than that.
Yeah. What about you?
I think there's something more to it. I really think that the fact that they are continuing the angle from Talking Smack, I think they're planting the seeds. Maybe not in the near future, but maybe WrestleMania time frame for another Daniel Bryan match.
Right.
I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but I can't imagine why they keep going with it unless they're going to have a payoff.
Jeff, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Craig. I can't really understand why they would continue an angle with a guy who can't run. So if they're going to continue down this road, maybe they found a way to work around Bryan's injuries to have him go one more time with Miz or something. But as far as the match goes, it was even that. This was typical heel stuff. But you know what? Heels keep it win. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, that match was so boring, I fell asleep midway through it.
Yeah, Mike was kind of dozing off. I mean, it was a fine match, but I mean, it wasn't really anything out of the ordinary that we haven't seen before. So, I mean, it was all right. Now we had
a long weekend for you guys, too.
Yeah, it was. It has been a long weekend. Then we had the Bray Wyatt segment with Randy Orton. Bray Wyatt attacked Randy Orton backstage. Earlier in the day, reports came out that Orton was being pulled from the pay-per-view, and I believe it's due to a concussion from SummerSlam, and the match did not take place. Orton was basically laid out backstage. Bray Wyatt came out. He was announced as the winner by forfeit, and then they brought out Kane to face Wyatt in a no-holds-barred match. And what gets weird here for a lot of people is that Randy Orton ended up coming out despite a concussion, which is being reported. He comes out and hits an RKO onto Bray Wyatt, and Kane beats Wyatt. A lot of people online, I mean, my Twitter feed was getting blown up, people complaining about it. I knew it was going to happen. Bray Wyatt losing, people were going to be unhappy, especially to Kane, even though Orton interfered. So, Mike, do you think that Wyatt was buried here?
I don't necessarily think he was buried, but I mean, isn't it weird, like Kane, who we're seeing really sporadic lately, just comes out and beats one of the supposed top guys on SmackDown?
Yeah, that is very weird. Would you agree, Greg?
Not really. What I see it as is it's just the angle between Orton and Wyatt continuing. People say that, oh, they're burying Wyatt. It's like, Orton came out. If there would have been no Orton involvement, Wyatt would have won.
Yeah.
I mean,
But then what happened? But then what happens when they have their match and Orton wins?
well,
They're burying him.
Jeff, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Mike. And the word bury is very overused. I think that, they needed to get through tonight in some way and still keep the angle, obviously, on Wyatt. So they had Randy come out during the match with no holds barred, and Randy interfered and got Kane to win. So now Wyatt needs one little bit to beat up Orton next time.
Yep. All right, so we had the main event, AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose. This match started like shortly after the hour, so it felt like this match was going to go really long, maybe like 30, even 40 minutes. A lot of pay-per-view time left, but it wasn't that long. I think it was only about a 20-minute match. I mean, the show ended about 20 minutes before the top of the hour, and it felt like it was really building up to something big. Like it started off slow, and then they started amping up the intensity, and then they started brawling in the crowd. And then all of a sudden, they're back in the ring. Referee gets knocked down. This all happened very abruptly. Referee gets knocked down. AJ hits a low blow, and then he hits the Styles Clash. Referee recovers. AJ Styles is the new WWE champion. I'm very happy that AJ is finally the champion, but I really felt that this match should have gone longer. It should have been an all-time classic, and instead I felt like maybe the Roman Reigns matches with AJ Styles were stronger, and I also felt AJ should have gotten a clean win here. Now, I know the idea is that Ambrose can get a rematch because of the fact that the low blow was used, but I still think it would have been better. It would have been a much stronger match if it was given more time, went to the top of the hour, and AJ won cleanly. What do you think, Mike?
It's like you stole the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah.
I liked AJ's bump he took with the catapult on the outside into the steel post. There were a lot of weird spots in this match. I felt it was very lackluster and anticlimactic, as Aaron said. It felt more like a SmackDown main event than a pay-per-view main event. I am happy AJ won the title, but I just wish it was like the Roman Reigns series of matches where it was like he's put everything on the line to win, but
Right.
it is what it is, and AJ is the new WWE World Champion.
Greg?
well, is it just me, or has Ambrose cooled off since his Battleground match against Rollins and Reigns?
Yeah, I feel that way, especially since SummerSlam, and maybe after that Stone Cold podcast, perhaps.
Yeah. I think Ambrose's only 2 good months of the year, well, pre-WrestleMania, you can count that, but also Money in the Bank and Battleground were his last 2 big, okay, this is a good Ambrose match. The rest of the year has been kind of down.
Yeah.
And I don't get it, because Ambrose is better than the matches he's putting on, so I
would agree
don't
on
understand.
that. Jeff, anything you want to add?
If you can't get a decent, 4-star match out of Dolph Ziggler and AJ Styles in consecutive pay-per-views, then the problem lies with you, not with creative booking, to be honest with you. I think.
Well, that's Jeff's opinion.
And yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that's your opinion.